The Federal Reserve just announced a half-point interest rate cut on Wednesday. So what does this mean? Is this good? Is it bad? Especially if you own a house or are thinking about purchasing a new one sometime in the near future. We're going to dive into how the federal funds rate impacts mortgage rates. Is the mortgage rates going to go down anymore? Home prices, are they going to go up? Are they going to go down? And the number of houses on the market. So housing inventories. We're just going to dive straight into that too. Hey, real quick, if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jade Lee-Duffy. I'm a real estate agent here in San Diego County. And if you're looking to get more information on the housing market or your neighborhood or your specific property, book a call with me. The Zoom link is in my description. Or if you're interested on what your home is worth, here is an instant home evaluation tool. If that is something of interest. Okay, let's dive in. First, let's talk about mortgage rates. I know that everyone is wondering, will mortgage rates go down? Unfortunately, mortgage rates already have dropped in the last week or so. Right now, the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage is hovering around 6.2%. A lot of mortgage lenders were already anticipating this federal funds rate, so they adjusted the rate since last week. Are they going to drop even more? Right now, this rate at 6.2% is the lowest since February of 2023. So everyone's wondering, will rates drop even more? Not really by a lot. Looking further ahead into next year, 2025, some experts are predicting rates could drop down to 5.5%, and others are saying it's just going to stick around 6%. Here's a graph of weekly mortgage rates. Right now, it's at 6.2% in September. And they have steadily gone down. So the high was last year in October of 2023. It was 7.79 here. And there was also a high in November of 2022. It was 7.8. And as you can see, dipping down here from January of 2022, so just over 2 years ago, it was at 3.05% mortgage interest rate. So as you can see, it's really climbed up, and then slowly, as you can see this trajectory, it's slowly starting to come down, which is good news. If you're wondering about what the actual cost difference would be with a different mortgage interest rate, that is for the principal and the interest. If you are looking at a $800,000 house and you put 20% down at a 7% mortgage interest rate, that monthly mortgage payment would be $4,258. At 6%, it would be $3,837. At a 5% mortgage, your monthly mortgage payment would be $3,436. So that's a difference of $800 with 2 percentage points. Now moving on to the federal funds rate and how that impacts housing prices. For a lot of you out there who have been waiting to get into a house and buy a new property, it's been tough, and it's still pretty tough. We've seen sky-high housing prices and really high mortgage rates, and while the mortgage rates have dropped down a little bit, those prices have been steadily climbing over the last 5 years. And here you can see from the National Association of Realtors, the median home price has risen 50% over the last 5 years. So median home prices across the US. 4 years ago in January 2020, the median home price was $266,000. And now, as you can see, it bumped up. 2 years ago, June 2022, it was $413,000, and right now it's come down. The last reading was July, so just a couple months ago, and the median home price is $422,000. So yeah, it has been a really big steep climb, 50% more expensive now than 4 years ago. Right now, it's one of the most unaffordable markets since the early 2000s. And I know a lot of you are wondering, when will there be a change? When will houses become more affordable? Well, the thing is, It's not going to be happening overnight. There are slow signs of improvements, but nothing dramatic. So with the slight mortgage drop, there aren't a lot of buyers in the market right now. So if you are able to afford a house right now, now might be the time so that you don't have to compete with a lot of buyers. But if mortgage rates drop even more, you might have more competition. And competition with low supply equals higher housing prices. If you've been reading reports when they say that lower mortgage rates will increase competition, it's true, especially with the low amount of inventory on the market right now. 60% of homeowners are sitting on a 4% or lower mortgage interest rate, and they do not want to give that up. And moving on to the impact of the federal funds rate and housing supply, this might actually encourage builders to start building more because the cost of building a house hopefully will come down, but we are still at historic lows when it comes to building. We are far below the goal of how many housing units to build. Here's another graph from the California Department of Finance, California Department of Housing and Community. As you can see, the goal for creating new housing has been 300,000 units per year, and we are definitely falling short of that. Last year in 2023, only 124,000 units were added. This year, right now, as we are in September, right now, there's only 115. So it's almost, a third of the state goal. Lower rates might increase building. It's easier for home builders to get financing, and this could mean more homes built over the next few years, which could ease some of the demand pressures. That's great news, especially here in San Diego, where the market is super competitive. So what's the bottom line for you? So for buyers, if you're waiting for mortgage rates to drop significantly, you might have to adjust your expectations. Even if rates go down even more, competition is going to remain high, especially here in San Diego. Last year, prices in San Diego have gone up about 9%. Prices are not likely to drop. If you find a home you love, don't wait too long, especially if you can afford it. Make sure about the monthly mortgage payments and still have an emergency fund. Every person's situation is unique. There's no guarantee that prices will improve anytime soon. If the economy takes a turn for the worse and there is chance of a recession, there is a possibility that the federal funds rate might be cut even more. I don't know about going down to a mortgage interest rate of 3%. But they could be lower than 5.5%. Well, thanks again for watching. If you found this video helpful at all, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. And also, if you are interested in more information about if buying is for you, check out this video right here.